Needs no introduction. Please welcome to the stage the one and only Light Shiner.
All right.
Peace, peace.
Peace.
Okay, give it up for our feature, Preach, right? Preach. Yeah, give it up for our feature. And, wow, let me see, what can I segue into? Wow. Yeah, most of what I write, I call weapons of mass instructions. And most of the times, here's an example. You can, in your circle of friends, ask them this question: what makes you human? And you know, I don't know, 80% plus don't know. They can't answer it. And some of the answers you'll get is, I like to eat, I like entertainment, I like intimacy. But most of the answers you get, you can say the same thing about a gorilla, a bear in the Detroit Zoo. And I'm not joking. And that should tell you something. Now, I can answer it, but most of the people, when you ask them that question, they go underground. They give you defense mechanisms. I met a young lady teacher at the college, Wayne State University. And I asked her that question. She said, "Sir, that's very interesting." And I say, but here you have classes, most of the teachers complaining about large class sizes, and you can't give the children that's looking for guidance, you can't give them anything. But think about that. And I call it weapons of mass instructions. Because, I hear a lot of people, Detroit is more than just occupying space. What kind of contribution can we make to Detroit? But anyway, so much for that. This first piece goes like this. This is Black History Month. And this piece goes like this. Maybe I can get warmed up. Kidnapped from the shores of Mother Africa, the savages they thought we were said we had bones in our nose and stay up all night beating Ali Tunji drums. Real savages to save us from what? Our love, our happiness, each other. There are 31 edited versions of the Word of God in exchange for our souls, and 400 plus years of unrequited labor. Christianize us, raped our minds with TV and straight hair, weaves and relaxers, bleaching creams with Natnola dreams, artificial dreadlocks, trying to reclaim lost dignity, purchased as a bag of hair from Susie Wu, the Korean, at a discount. New African proverb, never weave or graft the dead with the living. Coming view, you and boo. Lease cars, used homes, reefers, crack, Prozac, yakety yak. Kush for the Kushites. Those alien concepts of whiteness. The being of what is not. Whiteness is not a color. It's a hue. that reflects all colors. Blackness is not a color, it's a hue that absorbs all color. This maniacal social construct, predicated on the Atlantic slave trade, chattel slavery, and the removal of Indians to reservations as part owners of casinos, whiteness, a genetic deficiency, the absence of color. And we all have albinos, as if the citizenry is too ignorant to understand the difference in this post-colorblind society. Whiteness. Against our nature, this weapon called kidnapping brought us here to drive us mad, believing in heavenly hosts as white folks. But the audacity of hope is the state lottery where I come from. And we don't realize judgment is now. Our very organs will bear witness against us how we misuse them. Babylon is real. The Situation Room, the museums of our souls have been looted. History will be rewritten. Born again hegemony, eating his afterbirth, crippled for life. Incubating graven images, I need some water. Incubating graven images of a savior that couldn't save himself. Like 1,000 roaches crawling on a beam of light, all claiming the virtues of Abraham, forgetting Ishmael as well is a descendant of Abraham. In fact, Ishmael is Abraham's oldest son by that African princess Hagar in the Bible, which Amos calls a nappy-headed hoe from Baltimore. While today's Afro-Saxons write books on black women and are scared to mention her name. And scared to mention her name. I'm black and I'm proud! I'm black and I'm proud! No, Negro, you black and you loud. God promised a blessing to all the descendants of Abraham. As Israeli soldiers, too young for a ponfar, enjoy peep shows through steel tanks as belief becomes a metaphor, an orgy of death and bloodletting for stolen land. As the leaders in Washington shave a circle on the top of their heads to shine like the sun. That's that piece.
All right.
That's electronic applause. Thank you. This piece goes like this. Is it because when there were families, some families would check and correct irregularities with relationships. But mama, he's so handsome, but he's not handing you some, baby girl. Shotgun weddings lasted then. Today, families completely destroyed. Man's boyhood safely tucked under a hip-hop pillow. He's a player because he's only playing. Never had a daddy to tell him he's not the first young man to get a hard-on. Sex, recreation, roulette, and there are so many of us are dying. When your lady tells you she feels safer with you than the vibrator in the dresser drawer, she is lying. Is it because we need weapons of mass instructions? Be it resolved, the architects of confusion have constructed these confusing labels for humanity. How many times have you heard Chinese calling themselves yellow people? Have you ever heard an Indian say, I'm part Negro? Is it because the weapons are the words, and the words are the weapons? The human is the only one that can step out of their original nature by choice. But there are those who get orgasms lying on the handiwork of God. We need poems to smear on those that lie on the true essence of humanity. The male is different than the female. The female is different than the male. But natural differences does not constitute superiority or inferiority. Love what you are. The planner of the planets planned it that way. But these liars, brains like black jelly between Paris Hilton's toes, stinking hoes. I heard a poet the other say, poems can be anything, yeah. Poems can be scalpels that cut the sickness from the souls of the people and bring respect for humanity within again. It is not because there are those blacker than you called white. Some of us are whiter than them called black. It is because your mind is an artificial creation, unaware of your true humanity. If Malcolm had green eyes and straight hair, will he still remain your brother, Mr. Black Man? If we tried to use color to unite, it will divide us. Because some of us are midnight black and others navy bean white.
I'm sorry.
Or is it because our proto-genetic memory comes out on occasion? Hands up, police nowhere around. Allahu Akbar. God is greater. You know, some people have a God and then they have a God and a Lord. You see, and the Lord was one that created just like them. They don't understand. The one that created all this has no partners, no associates. And the police nowhere around. Or is it because We have cemeteries in our mouths. And the true meaning of the words we try to use from day to day are buried deep dead under our tongues. From the word Sodom and Gomorrah, we get sodomy and gonorrhea. Is it because when men become sissies, women start looking for the rainbow? Because where there is no shame, anything goes. Is it because the weapons are the words and the words are the weapons? The smooth tongue of the mischief maker, a dialectic in the jawbone of Satan that calls you and you come running. Because the day's abused is tomorrow's abusers, if this pernicious cycle is not broken. Man cannot rule man. So he or she lies on God and claims divinity, believing in a three-headed God they have created for themselves, but their hope is in the lottery, mystery, victimization, and drama. Becomes a strong attraction to those without the correct knowledge that want to drown in their tears rather than step out of the water. Tears are natural. Cry if you have to, but don't drown in them. Falsehood has become fast food as mothers poison their babies with breast milk. The pernicious is made delicious because you love the devil, your secret lover, and feel you must destroy your humanity to receive the promise of God. You love the devil, your secret lover, because he gives you nothing. As parasites eat your spirituality and die from obesity. Is it because you were taught by that lieutenant from Tarsus that God is not human, but born from a human, murdered by humans for your salvation? Listen. We are victims of spiritual malpractice as yogis die from their kundalini. Anti-Semites worship Semitic deities unaware of Paul's machinations. Is it because you shudder strangely after peeing? Because America is a country. Because the Bible opens with Judah. You know, this is where you get Judaism, Judah. The Bible opens with Judah impregnating his daughter-in-law with twins. David's son Amnon rapes his sister. Another one of David's sons, Absalom, rapes his mother in open daylight. Jesus calls the Gentile woman a dog. And you know what you call a female dog. So that's just like saying Jesus called a woman a bitch. Right. I mean, this is what it's saying. And all the woman wanted was help for her daughter. You know, they don't break that down when you go to these religious houses. That's why I'm just telling you, you can look it up. Abraham marries his sister, 20th chapter of Genesis.